So I could force him to as well. Yeah, so I guess I'm going to have to force him. I'll gain the counter and then apply the bleed. So he'll have the bleed, he'll hit me, and then I'll hit him back for 8. So since he has the bleed, I can just get him even more. And yes, that damage can go to 0. Um, you'll see that in a boss fight if I end up getting that for day 2. The bosses are drawn from a random pool. So he's going to surrender there, and that's fine. This is the last card in your hand. It won't be. Discard 2 cards, attack him. These are all for discard-based decks, and I don't. So he wants 50 for a bribe. Let's see if I can talk my way out of trouble first. Oh, so this guy's already showing up drunk. That's a great way to start your combat. So I can apply 4 composure to me. I could use this to attack 4 times, which is great, but the damage from that stack will move over to me anyway. And I will apply the composure and expend that card, throw it in exile, just to get it out of my pool. Okay, I'm gonna end up taking a little bit of damage from this. Use the flask. I will defend here. Gain 3 smarts for 0. And then, there you go. That'll defend that off. I'll lose some of the health off the smarts argument, but I was going to lose all of my influence if I didn't defend there. So I'm going to go ahead and use all the influence to win. Just rapid fire it off like a boom, 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 boom cannon. Gain 3 damage each time this is drawn while you have influence. I don't know if that is permanent. Like if it'll go from 4 to 7 to 9. I'll try that out. We'll see if that damage stacks, even outside of battle. I will get this card destroyed to thin the deck out. Okay. So his summons has been delivered. Oh, so his bonus, or we'll see, to get another sparing, 150. So that does stack. Now that we have 2 sparing, that's 1 defense on top of the 1 defense we already have. So all my 4 defense cards are now 6. So a 50% increase on stuff like that is huge. We're flush with cash too, so we're gonna run to the shop now that it opened. Let's gather the loot. We're probably gonna have a battle because of the... Oh, no, we didn't. So we lucked out again. We're super flush with cash. And looking for combat graphs. Hemorrhage. Whenever you apply bleed, restore 1 health. Super good. Draw 3 extra cards at the start of every turn. At the end of your turn, take 1 damage for every card in your hand above 3. Not that great. Duplicate the first argument you create every negotiation, or gain 2 composure when your opponent's argument is dismissed. I'm not feeling any of those. Like, some of them are good, but they're not great. It's +1 to the minimum damage. What am I looking like for my graphs? I've filled out my combat, not filled out any negotiation. So I might as well grab something. Let's just duplicate the first card. And then we'll see what cards he has. I could pull a second one. Awesome. I'm not going to complain. Remove a negotiation card from my deck. Go ahead and remove one of you just to thin it out. We're going to basically build up as much influence as possible and then rapid fire that influence off. And this is the night that the second boss attacks you while you sleep. So there's a red-coated assassin and a blue-coated assassin. You can try and demoralize him before you attack, but we're going to gain some influence, apply some defense, and then just smash in. So I can get a bonus action next turn, which would be great. And I'll spend my 8 influence to do rapid fire a bunch of damage off, which is great. The trick to beating this red-coated assassin is that his main argument is invulnerable until you've defeated at least one of the outside arguments. But every time you defeat an outside argument, he gains one of those like boss raid timers. So you kind of want to defeat, as soon as you defeat the first one, you want to defeat all of them and him as fast as possible. I wonder if this will remove boss. Nope, it just hurt me. That was, I thought it might remove impatience, which if it did, it would be busted, but it doesn't. So I just removed all my buffs, which is going to hurt me. But we'll figure it out. Again, this is the boss, so if I take some damage here, it won't be the end of the world. I could apply some defense. Not that that matters a whole lot. That's going to be huge. Oof. I could hope he hits this twice. No, we're going to get close, but that's going to, whatever he's planning on doing, 16 damage there, yeah. So losing a negotiation isn't the end of the world. I didn't get any of those buffs or upgrades. For the combat, but my combat deck hopefully will stand the test of time. So apply 6 defense, 8 defense and 2 combo. And this is where like having those defense upgrades is extremely vital. Because like those would have been just 4 defense and now it's 6. And I'm going to try and stack up as much bleed as possible on him. So he's got bleed. Take him out. Improvise a card. Apply 3 more bleed. Oh, is it worth that? Or is it worth... He's not hitting me, so counter's not going to do anything. 2 defense and 2 counter's not going to help necessarily. I might as well stack some more bleed, take another hit. And yeah, I summoned him in. He did die pretty fast, but it helped me to not take that turn's hit, and it stacked a little more bleed on him. It doesn't look like I'm taking a hit this turn, so I really can just stack. I'm up to 11 bleed. I don't necessarily need the defense, but I'll use the combo for next turn. He went into counter, I believe. So maybe I just go 6 defense and draw a card. Ooh, that's tasty. Defense and counter. And then I may battle Scars to get a ton of defense and a ton of counter. He's going to hit me twice and take 30 damage. Or, I miscounted. Take a lot more. Take 34 damage. This is the card we were talking about earlier. 2 for Hemorrhage. Whenever you apply Bleed, heal 1. This is single-handedly going to make that Bleed deck almost unstoppable, because even if I get dealt a bunch of damage, I will just heal it all back. So if you apply Bleed, apply 2 cripple and 2 wound, which is great because it'll extend the amount of time that he's dealing less damage to me. Draw 4 cards, 2 counter, 3 cards, 2 defense and 2 counter. If this becomes a defense card, because that 2 defense you're reading is kind of shabby on a card, but with the build we're already doing, where all our defense cards have +2 to them, there's now 4 defense, 2 counter, and 2 cards for 1. Awesome. I almost don't need to read these. We need a negotiation graft whenever we get a green card, or whenever we gain influence, which is what our green deck does, 2 damage to a random target. So we're going to gain a bunch of influence. Boom, 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 hit, 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 hit. Then we're going to use a bunch of influence to shoot, 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 shoot. I think this is... I'll read the other ones, but that's almost 100% what I'm going to go for. Enemies no longer surrender. Great later in the game. We're in day 2. Day 5, when you're almost at the end, and you don't care if people hate you, go ahead and kill people. Take 3 damage, so 100% that negotiation is going to help us out. We'll heal because it's the end of the day. We'll be going into day 3. So 2 people hate me, not great, but that one is so good, sparing. So we've got the 2 sparing buffs. There is a third one. It's going to be very hard to get, though. So if you guys want me to slow down with and like read through all the chat, I can, or I'll be talking to you in chat, but to read through all the game dialogue, I can. But as this being a roguelike, you definitely should go and play it on your own if you're interested. And this is probably like a 3-hour run if you read everything out, and it's a 1-hour run if we just go through and look at the important stuff. So this is the grab a prisoner, and this is the escort a clerk to collect taxes. The collect tax is hard to do because you're going to collect taxes with Admiralty against Admiralty, and you could start like getting debuffs you don't want. So No Man Left Behind is an easier mission to handle. Gain 2 influence, apply 2 composure. Boom. With an influence deck, I'm all about that. So I can confront him or attack him. So I'm the aggressor here. If I kill him, it'll look bad. So let's try and talk him down first. So now that card reads, it deals 1 damage, I get an influence, but because I have the influence bonus, it'll deal 2 more damage, knocking it in there. And then when I get more influence, more damage comes in. This will give me a bonus action next turn. And I can apply some composure so I'm saving some face. Four damage, 3 comes in. I'll gain 2 influence, use 2 influence, 2 more influence, more damage comes in. This will deal damage. I'll gain 2 influence. This will trigger some more damage, and then I'll deal damage equal to half my influence. I might as well get some smarts. It'll be more damage there, but hopefully it'll help negate some of this. I did have influence when this came in, so I might as well get some composure, thin my deck out a little bit. Oh, I probably should have, yeah, I should have done my own thing of playing out more cards so that I could get more experience before doing this. Oh, thanks, Ryan. I can do it. I'm on Prestige 2, trying to get Prestige 3 right now. There's like 12 to 14 difficulties that you unlock as you beat the game over and over and over again. So I'm trying to get down there. Difficulty 2, getting to difficulty 3 is not that bad. But as you can see, in the beginning, the roads you take definitely either hinder you a lot or help you a lot in the way that you build. Because we're starting to see these card engines happen where each card triggers the next card or triggers the next ability, and things just kind of just snowball. Let's go ahead and try this. It won't be a big... Oh, well, there you go. Never mind. I say it's not going to be big, and then it ends up winning it for me anyway. Doubling the defense on every argument is good, especially when this upgrades. It can be add 3 defense to something, then double the defense on everything. But I need to get it there, and I'm already in day 3. So I'll have to focus on trying to upgrade some of these cards. Gain 3 influence, apply 3 composure. Just go ahead. Sounds good to me. The other one was ambush. So it starts in your opening hand, but I don't necessarily need it to start in my opening hand. If I keep my deck small enough, I'll get it soon enough. Hey Josh, how's it going, man? How's your day been? Pick a graft reward. Bleed decays at 33% instead of 50%. That's almost... these are all good. This is so good. So just to explain real quick with a bleed mechanic again. So you apply bleed to somebody. Say you applied 5 bleed. Then they take 5 damage and it goes down by half. So the next turn they take 2. It's rounded down. Now that when it's... the decays at 33%, that means they'll take 5, then they'll take 3, then they'll take 2, then they take 1. So... whenever you apply bleed, restore health. Your attacks deal 2 bonus damage to targets with bleed. I want the survivability. I think I'll take out that one, because the damage itself will be coming from the bleed instead of the stabs. Oh, definitely, Josh. Send us a picture of those shelves. I'm super stoked to hear about how they turned out. And the fact that you had the extra drywall inserts, like I can't find those. Those are like gold for me right now. Ooh, upgrade the hemorrhage. whenever you apply bleed, heal 2, or whenever you apply bleed, heal 1, and it starts in your opening hand. I think I'm going to go for more heals. The first Eldar model's getting glue. Nice. That's not your Ryan. You're not talking about your Harlequins, right? These are like straight up Eldar models. So she wants me to do a mission. Again, you really want to look at who you're doing the missions for, because that could influence who likes you and who hates you, and that will be huge. Oso. Does Oso have a relationship with me already? I don't believe so. So, that may be the last. It'll be a hard combat, don't get me wrong. And I may be shooting myself in the foot right now. But, if we can do this. Nice, the Forge World stuff. So I actually turned off the game music. I just have regular background music. And the voice is not voiceover dialogue. They just kind of babble. They just go blah, 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 at each other. I mean, I could turn that on if you want, Josh, but I'm not. I'm trying to go through the whole playthrough of the roguelite, which is like a 3-hour thing if you read out all the dialogue. But cool. Cool, cool, cool. But yeah, I know that there's no in-game. But you should hear like the royalty-free light music track in the background. I don't necessarily. I need to save money, at least 200, for after I do this mission. It may just be that it's super low. I did turn it down. Let's try and add a source. Again, I'm just trying to mess around on OBS too, so I'm going to try and add the audio capture source. So just desktop music. See if this will fix it. You got like a light kind of like ambiance music. Bam. Look, I'm so good now. It's like I almost know what I'm doing. Like almost close. So the first thing I did when you said you couldn't hear the music is I turned it up. Let me know if that's too loud. I can also just turn it back down. Let's get through this. Intimidate him. Let's just try this. Let's try it. So, just like before, this is going to be a rapid fire, deal a bunch of damage by gaining a bunch of influence kind of play. So he's already at 37. I need to... Ooh, those are going to suck. 7 will kill that one. That'll protect my influence. I guess I just eat and hopefully I eat that damage and hopefully it's not a lot. 5 is kind of a high roll, but it's not as bad as it could be. Let's gain some influence. I could take that damage out. And then I could rapid fire. So there you go. That's basically what this deck is made to do. Is just it builds up a bunch of influence, and then it yeehaw game ranches and just bow 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 takes a bunch of it out. And then hopefully it stays small enough. A lot of people, what they do is they're like, oh, this is a cool card, this is a cool card, this is a cool card. They end up pulling in a bunch of cards, and they never get to do what they want to do because they can't draw what they need. But yeah, never underestimate the finger guns. So he dislikes me. What is his dislike going to give me? So it's not the good one. But we're really trying to get these little helmets. And if I can get more of those helmets, the better. Oh, yeah. Hits one of these like rock songs and then it's a little too loud. Okay. How about that? I cut it like 30%. Okay. Not a sponsor of Team Bad Decisions. I totally would sponsor Team Bad Decisions if I could with finger guns. Pew, pew, pew. So let's just tell him, because I want to get on his good side. This is good and this is good. I think I'll take the defense. And that's the third sparing. So this is almost unheard of. I know people don't play this game a lot, but basically all of my defensive cards now are twice as effective as they did before. I basically, if some of you guys I know play Magic, it's basically saying like I have a red enchantment that says all damage that's dealt to me is halved permanently, which is how good that is. The help a friend is good. I think I may have just messed up there though. I can gift her that for heavy lifting, which gives me 4 defense and 2 power at the beginning of the battle. And I think by choosing to do that and not going to the other one, the thing I just talked about of having the 3 sparing was negated. 1, 2, yeah. Because my friend Gao, who liked me before, is now dead. Oh, yeah. But that's like Google hijacking your life. Now that Google knows that you streamed once or thought about streaming, and now they want to do everything and shove everything down your throat. Oh, yeah. I think that movie is called Atlantis. So, I do have enough money to pay her to help me, so she'll like me. And this will be the boss for Night 3. It's going to be a giant ship beast. One of 2 different kinds of ship beasts. See if I can negotiate my way through. Gain some influence. Some smarts. Deal some heads up damage on it. So we'll see where I'll gain my influence first. And we'll see where that puts me. 3 will hurt that. There you go. Two bonus actions next turn. And then I could apply 4 defense to that, so it'll help it survive. Maybe should have applied the 4 defense there to help my composure, but this, I know this is being the boss fight, so I'm not super like thinking about keeping my health pools high. I just need to survive. Getting rid of this first will help the finger guns. Guys, we're just going to town. Boom, 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 boom. And there's the win. Oh, I read that R-rated Atlantis movie as a little bit different of an R rating. That you want to just like go to Atlantis and then it's just like a big Vegas strip. So 3 damage per influence spent, or 2 damage and then gain an influence at the end. I think 3 is better, especially since we're getting, 10, 12 stacks of influence. We could